road nights just don't feel the same. Oh, pack my life inside a car, hit the button, drive real far, but that record on me like, I'm dreaming of you, I dream of a new night. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you
We have been waiting so long for the season to begin.
God damn it, I'm hyped.
No, why'd you get off of it? You're gonna come around and get the kill. Nick Bowser up. That is a big assault from Purple Evil. He is in front of you. Checks are going off right now. As he's able to
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is the K7 League, and this match here tonight, cTc Gold versus New Threat, is going to be a spicy one, and I'm joined with Comica here. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, it's great to be back, Trix, back on the bandwagon once again, and it's going to be another great match that we're here for tonight. Again, is cTc, some of the top dogs in their group, 3-2 right now, going up against the new kids on the block in New Threat. Funnily, that new is in the name. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering why New Threat is in here, they are taking over the spot from Team Mist, who was having a really terrible season, let's be totally honest here. So they dropped out, and now they are going to be replaced by New Threat.
Yeah, New Threat, you talked about the word new in their name. Well, I'm going to talk about the word threat in their name, and I feel like it's a great time here to bring up their roster as well, if possible. It's going to be that threatening roster here. This is a team of 4 that is... these guys are dirty. These guys are no jokes. It's Hope, Sickos, Llama, and Deceptions, who is filling in for another one of their sickening players that is under this awesome org of New Threat. I know I'm greasing the wheel here quite a bit, Comica, but they deserve the grease, don't they?
Yeah, dude, they deserve the gas. They've been placing very high in a lot of different leagues and tournaments so far, and so New Threat, they are definitely living up to the name, New Kids on the Block, and they're very threatening with how much they've been able to win in a short amount of time. And I've seen a lot of their players, like I think Dez was also on there the last time I saw him, and he's been killing it in a lot of lane environments, like Helix last season. I'm talking about in Cold War, he was absolutely nasty, and he was on this team. So yeah, these guys, they have a star-studded roster, and I cannot wait to see what they do up against cTc.
Yeah, and Hope also, somebody to name from this roster, is somebody that's won leagues before in the amateur North American scene back in Cold War. I remember commentating over some of his victories there. Deceptions, also somebody that isn't unfamiliar with the league scene here in North American online competition. Now, talking about the other competition here, we got cTc Gold, somebody that's not unfamiliar to the stream here in the K7 League. They've been here, I believe, maybe twice already. They've had matches streamed. But Zimothy, Dyer, Keprin, and Weary. Comica, who stands out the most on this foursome roster?
Well, like I said the last time we casted these guys, I've casted them since I first started casting Call of Duty, and I know that Keprin, he's an awesome player, Veery, he's a great AR, but Zimothy, the biggest difference, Chase, is the fact that Zimothy is going to be here this time. We saw them up against Team Final Strike, and they didn't really do that bad. They really did not, but their main shot caller in Zimothy was not there, so they ended up losing that game. And now with him back, I've seen them killing a lot of great teams. Unfortunately for them, not UGK, as we did see them the last time, but every game other than those two, the top 2 teams are their only 2 losses in the entire season so far. So honestly, it's looking good for them, Chase.
And when it comes to the casters and staff here at K7's power rankings, cTc Gold, even though they don't look as great when it comes to their actual score and their stats here in the league, we do all have them on paper as being a very powerful team. And I think it's just about time for us to talk about that overall standing in general here. And first off, we're going to go over Division A, Division Alpha. This is the division which these 2 teams reside in here. And you can see as plain as day, number 4, cTc Gold, a 2-2 record coming into this week, a 7-map win rate, and then their loss is 6. And over on the side of New Threat, well, they are taking over from that Team Mist side, who had a very rough showing in the first 4 matches of their season, and that's only 1 map win and 12 map losses under their record, but that should, if the team's strength, new threat strength, is what it is said to be, it should obviously look to repair itself in due time, right, Kamika?
Yeah, Chase, they've definitely got a lot to come back from. We still got another second half of the season, so they're absolutely not joining into an absolute defeat spot by any means. They can still surpass Pulsive and get into this top 4 positions. One thing to note is that they did fight Team Final Strike last night, and it was a very close game. They lost 3-2, however, in a map number 5. It was 6-3 in the Search and Destroy. So yeah, even in the top 2 teams, or technically the top 3 teams, because Team Final Strike was uprooted from that second place position by Dawn of Chaos, they're still looking pretty good up against the more dominant teams in the group. So when they start going up against some of these easier matches after going up against cTc and Team Final Strike, and then I think they've already fought UGK Team Mist. That was one of their major forfeits. They should be able to definitely pick up some points.
Yeah, and UGK getting a win over Dawn of Chaos, who didn't show up earlier tonight, also now gives Final Strike the opportunity to re-leap back into second. Dawn of Chaos with a loss under their belt looks better for cTc Gold to maybe look to take advantage of that and trying to close the gap on their opponents there, and even New Threat with an opportunity to close the gap on a top 4 spot going into playoffs. But let's take a quick look over at Division Bravo if we have the opportunity there. Kamika, walk us through how Bravo's looking out.
Well, one thing I can say for sure is what a comeback from NOLA Flight Black. They were having not the best of starts, I'm going to be totally honest with you. The original Millennium 7 team did hand them their first loss of the season, and we were starting to all get doubts in our minds like, oh no, is NOLA Flight not going to live up to the hype that we gave to them from their top 32 finish in Challengers? Obviously, that was just a little bit of a fluke for them, and they have won every single match since. Whereas Millennium 7, they've started to fall down a little bit, and mostly that's because they didn't have a roster that beat NOLA Flight, lost to Team Veer, and it resulted in their entire roster getting dropped down. And so they'll be getting replaced by, you know him, you love him, Roman, Passionate, Visitox, and one other player. So that's a really solid roster.
Manny,
right.
Yeah, the homie, Manny Clave. And NOLA Flight, yeah, they also have a new roster that they've been running with. I think Copy Jr. and Lightning are the 2 star-studded names on that one. It's interesting to see those teams, Millennium and NOLA Flight, continue to fight to maybe end Team Veer's undefeated record right now that they're cruising with right now. While we look at the other teams here, Natural Talent, a bit of an outlier there. A lot of people had high hopes for them being in the top 4. Unfortunately, underperforming at the moment. They still can look to turn things around. Vanguard Gaming in the middle of the pack, like quite a few people had pre-predicted. Lurk Blue, still a team that from the start of the season, people didn't really have too many high hopes about, didn't really think they would be necessarily top 4 in this group. Still looking to shock and awe as they continue to have a top 4 spot in their hands. But let's take a look at that map set today that we have ahead of us for this matchup, Kamika. And it's very vanilla.
Yeah, nothing too crazy tonight. We're going to be starting it off with Tuscan. We've got a Tuscan sandwiches hero just set into my ear with Berlin as your lettuce and mayonnaise, and then in the meat you got Tuscan as well. So yeah, it's quite the burger. Tuscan, Berlin, Tuscan, Berlin, Tuscan.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Italy versus Germany for those of you guys that like a classic matchup like that when it comes to European soccer titans. But here we go. We got cTc Gold up against the side of, I'm already starting to blank on who they're against, New Threat. Here on these map sets. I've got to think that seasoned side of New Threat, I want to give them a bit of the benefit here when it comes to these maps that are very standard for and that tend to go off more successfully for teams that are more how should I say it, more practiced and more oiled together. So that's kind of what my sort of initial look is at this. Do you have a different sort of look at who you think is more favorable in this going into this matchup?
It's really hard to say, Tricks, because I know that both these teams have different strengths, but I haven't seen them really fight similar teams at their full capacities. The one litmus test we could use is Team Final Strike, but cTc Gold didn't have their full roster, and that was before Control was implemented. So it's, in my opinion, it's really up in the air. The one thing that I will say can be a massive change factor is the fact that when we're starting to go into these Tuscan respawns, is that you've got some good. We really need to see Dyer and Keprin do some good stuff with the subs. And I saw a funny stat online, brought to me by his own teammates, is that Keprin is one of the most team-killed players in the entire AM scene. So, yeah, I gotta hope that Keprin can actually do some sub stuff without getting team-nated, Tricks. That's one of the main keys to victory for cTc.
Yeah, no, 100%. And when it comes to things that could be swingy, when it comes to this matchup, I'm looking at that Search and Destroy map number 2. Both of these teams have a lot of Search and Destroy, I would say, prowess on their side. You got the cTc side, who have a really strong, and I could continue to grease his wheel. The guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Zimothy, is a really good Search and Destroy shot caller, and in the AM scene and whatnot. And then when you look over at the side of New Threat, they have a ton of wager kids there that definitely just no life search at times. I've seen them in a few chords do that, for money 8s and also just chows. So I'm looking at Hope to be somebody to maybe pop off in the Search and Destroy. But this initial hard point that we're going to be getting into, the Tuscan, who do you got maybe favored for this first map? Do you have somebody, or are you still very impartial on that?
If you're putting a gun to my head and you're saying you have to pick somebody, then I am going to go with cTc on this one, because normally I'm used to seeing New Threat being brought in with Dez, and he is definitely a difference maker, I'm not going to lie. So the fact that we've got a cTc team that we know exactly what to expect, and it's a good thing to expect. We can only expect good things from them on this map. I'm going to have to give an early edge to cTc, but it's not a strong one, I must say.
Yeah, I'm myself, I'm going to lean over towards New Threat, but, maybe it's me taking an underdog, maybe it's me not. But here we go. The action is live in front of us here, and it's going to start by this really mixy first P1 that Hope and his teammates of New Threat are going to be able to devour and hold off their opposition. So far, so good for them. No points scored yet for cTc Gold, but a nice little flank developing as well.
Ooh, Kepler might be able to save this push for his team, if I'm totally honest with you. He's going to... Oh, that's some huge shots to miss on Llama. And yeah, now he's going to stay alive and follow through onto killing every single player off of the cTc hill. And that is a wipe once again for cTc. That could have been a big moment very early on for cTc, where they flip the script on New Threat once again and get back control and stop the time going into their hands. But unfortunately, Tricks, we're going to be seeing New Threat still holding strong on the next rotation. Although we do see Zimothy and the rest getting some good mid presence and trying to harass them off of it, but it's to no avail.
Oh, and a great start for the sub as well in Deceptions here, going 5-2 with a 4 streak at one point as well. But here we go. We're on that P2, looking to soak up time as Llama, while his teammates watch from above as Hope is able to find Zimothy. Off to the right, there's an armada of orange arrows making their way to the backside of that point from the spawn by the tank, and they just get absolutely smothered. The kill feed looks pinstriped, but not really successfully pinstriped at all for cTc Gold.
Oh my god, Tricks, this has been an absolute slaughter of a first 2 hills up against cTc. New Threat, they've just thoroughly looked like the better team all around. Not really any time going in the hands of cTc. Every time they try to make something happen, they get figured out instantaneously and flanked. So that's one major thing that I'm worried about for them right now. They do have Zimothy making sure that the spawns don't get flipped very easily, and they're holding close to where they know that their opponents are going to be spawning. So this is looking good for a setup for cTc to clap back on this hill.
Yeah, the bleeding could get stemmed here. Maybe a band-aid on the bad finger, like Caesar Skies needed his band-aid in that one match during the kickoff. But here we go. New Threat's first attempt to break. They end up getting broken themselves as cTc Gold continue to look very successful when holding this hill on Fountain and showing us, ladies and gentlemen, why this one could be looked at as a money hill.
That's not a totally clean break in the first attempt, but this time around it's starting to look a little bit better for them. Like they might be able to fully break it and flip out cTc in one fell swoop. That's exactly what happens. And cTc, they're getting a little bit pulled apart. I'm not going to lie. Dire going in solo dolo does a little bit of good work, but there's no one really there to back him up. So the time it's not really felt his push. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And so kephren, he's a little bit isolated now as well. So cTc Gold, as this rotation is about to happen, are going to be a little bit divided from each other. No, they got the close spawns now. That's good on them. So they will be able to hunker up inside this church and make sure that they can have at least 2 people in there. They might get surrounded, but as long as they keep this status quo, they can still hold this hill for quite a bit amount of time.
Number 4 trying to hit a nice flank on the player Cobble. Does spot him out, but dies for it. Hope finding the kill onto Weary. That's the player who was playing Cobble. Gets taken down. The point itself goes red. The church bathing in the blood of these cTc Gold members as the side of New Threat seems to have real estate coverage. But now it's going to be a new break coming through from cTc Gold, and it is coming through successfully as they're able to break in. 20 seconds left of the hill to still play for. It looks like New Threat won't give it away easily.
Yeah, definitely not. They're still staying around, and the 16 seconds, even if it was going to go in the hands of cTc, it wouldn't have been comfortable either way. They probably wouldn't have been able to get it with all those New Threat players up and inside the objective. And so this rotation, New Threat can afford to take their time because it's not one where rotations can be super duper beneficial. Tricks, as we know, it's very easy for you to rotate to the objective early and then get grenaded off of it. And now New Threat, they're not looking to just keep control over the objective itself. They've also got some good mid-map presence and making sure they're not getting flanked. They're doing everything that cTc should be doing.
Oh man, that 3-piece in the feed from your boy 04, not a 007. He's a completely different agent and an agent of death right now for the side of New Threat. His 4 streak does end right there. You know, maybe a little product of his name sake, so to speak. But cTc Gold, they've got a bit of an answer here for the final 25 seconds of this hill. Will they be able to hold it, or will they just hold each other's nades, it looks like, as a kill comes through? And man, not fun for friendly fire.
Yeah, fun fact is that it's usually kephren that's getting team naded, but he's going to give a nice payback to Dire, although not at a very opportune time. cTc, they are trying to get a modicum of a rotation, but it's not clean, and they're not slugging up all the gaps. You see Hope has gone right through one, and he kills 2, looking for the 3rd. Oh my god, another amazing wipe for New Threat Chase.
Hope is Hope right now. Oh lord, oh, feed him more! Jesus Christ! New Threat. These cTc Gold members right here, these players, they have families that watch them play sometimes. They could be watching right now. This is absolutely dirty. And Hope is looking like a distinguished gentleman going to having a 2.0 KD right now on the map. 18-9. Absolute brilliance. New Threat are definitely a new threat in this league.
Yeah, not only that, Tricks, but he's got the most time. Hope is definitely looking like the GOAT so far. Can do it all. Get you somebody that can do everything, ladies and gentlemen. That's a player that you want on your team. And now Hope, he's already on the next objective. What a guy. He's already rotated nicely. His teammates are in the middle of the map, mopping up shop. You don't really see a whole lot of force needed to go to the new objective. New Threat, they're just so confident in themselves to hold down these lanes from cTc Gold. And why wouldn't you not have that amount of confidence? You've been thoroughly destroying them in the gunfights a lot of the time, and the rotations have been clean. You've been holding down all the good angles up against them, so cTc, they're looking a little bit lost right now, Chase, I'm not going to lie to you, and it's definitely going to require them to hit the reset button when they go into the search and destroy at the very least.
I love seeing the Hope and Deceptions duo back online here for this matchup. 204 points to 62. It's looking like it could be a 100-point clubbing here on the stream. And it's not illegal like seal clubbing here, folks. This is perfectly legal here on the K7 League channel. And Zimothy trying to do what he can to finesse his life on the hill, will find the kill. And, well, maybe that puts a bit more confidence into your boosters there, Zimothy. But you're going to need a lot more where that came from if you're going to look to try to mount this comeback with your teammates.
Yeah, emphasis on with your teammates, Tricks. Look at how divided these cTc players are. They're going in solo for a bunch of solo chows. And New Threat, they're there and ready to pick up on the trades or take the gunfights together. This is something that cTc Gold it's been endemic of them this entire time. and it's been one of the major reasons why they've been losing. But now they finally make a good concerted effort pushing together. We're starting to see it. We're starting to see what would happen if they had just done this a little bit sooner, I would say, Tricks. They wiped New Threat off the objective very handily, but the teamwork starts to die out, they get singled out, and now New Threat is backing on the objective once again.
And they wipe them up like stains on a carpet here. Ladies and gentlemen, New Threat looking to put cTc Gold in the laundry bin here in this opening map. This is a statement opening map as well, if I do say so. It's 237 and counting. It's going to be 240 past 283 going into this next hill. It's one that cTc Gold did, however, grab decent amount of time on last time around. It's also considered a money hill, but man, New Threat, they make money whenever they want to. It's all them right now, all day and map long. It's gonna end here. It's the 250 to 86 show about to go down, and maybe I've spoke too soon.
Maybe a little bit too soon, Tricks, but I agree with your sentiments. cTc, they are well and truly out of this game if I ever seen a team like that. It's all they need to win this is a break New Threat, and it's looking like it's going to be coming out right now. Dire hopping off the objective and going for the kills. Weary trying to go in, and he does somehow keep his team alive so far. Oh, runs out of ammo, though, but New Threat with that wipe will be sealing the deal in their favor now, finally.
Yeah, the 100-point club comes to fruition. cTc Gold trying to make it look a little more respectable for their supporters in chat. But unfortunately, the 100-point club is what has been approached here. As 04 gets the kill cam, a really great KD as well. But everybody on the side of New Threat should be feeling quite nice with their KDs, apart from Llama here, who unfortunately is having a bit of a rough start for him, but luckily he has some phenomenal teammates to work alongside, right, Comica?
Yeah, that's true. They were well and truly killing everybody and not getting a whole lot of deaths in return. So, yeah, one player we got to look out for especially is Hope. We had that one moment, if you recall it, that he just went on like a 7 streak in a row or something like that, and used the streak to good effect later on when they were looking like they were going to win the game. So going into the search and destroy, I am a little bit nervous because even though he was alone for a lot of those fights, Tricks, and there were a lot of people around him that could have gotten help from the cTc Gold players, and he was able to dunk on them individually all by himself. So Hope, it's definitely someone you got to watch out for, but the major issue, Tricks, is that cTc are not playing as a team. We saw a lot of individual pushes, and that's one of the major reasons why I would say they lost.
Yeah, it's more individual hunger and individual decision making, and if you do have individual hunger, ladies and gentlemen, well, I recommend you grab some Killer Jerky, one of our sponsors here for the K7 League. They might be able to quench some of your hunger there. But yeah, for sure, 100%. You know, the side of New Threat, they're looking super strong. You were seeing the sub make a presence known and seen and appreciated on the map in that first one. It's going to be interesting to see if their the duoship between Hope and Deceptions continues to stay solid going into that search. While over on the side of cTc, I talked about going into this series, how that search map could be a big swing factor in providing hope. We repeat that one a lot because the players named it, but in providing hope for them and their fans for cTc, I feel like their angle of attack or approach to win this series, it's going to be having to be something like a map 5% potential situation where they win the search, they win the maybe swingy not hard point control, and then they force that map 5, because I don't think they're going to be taking these hard points anytime soon when it's looking, you know, this clinical from the side of New Threat.
Yeah, I mean, New Threat, they were doing everything that cTc wasn't. They were taking team fights, and even when they weren't, they were winning their fights, and they were taking solo challenges that were conducive to what their teammates were doing. cTc, their solo challenges were a little bit self-serving, I must say. They didn't serve a purpose other than, I'm just going to try and do this by myself. Whereas New Threat, when we saw Hope, I can't not say it. When we saw Hope go on that tirade of his, it was serving the ability for his team to get time off of the hill, and he was trying to defend it while his teammates got in better positions for next. And it just happened to work out great. But at the end of the day, it served a purpose, even if he wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, you look at two teams that arguably their teams had very individual player play styles and decision makings and stuff, but just one team was able to come out on top, predominantly through slaying strength. And I feel like that's the name of the game when it's going to be coming down to these respawns. And that's where the control becomes even more harder and a taller of a task for the side of cTc, because slaying, if you can't match slaying well enough in a mode that has lives, well, that's going to be scary. But we have ourselves a different one here. It's going to be search and destroy, a slower game mode and traditional play for it on this map. Would you say, Comica?
I definitely would, and one good thing for cTc Gold going into this is that it will give them the time to have a little bit of a chit chat. You see Zimothy bopping his head up and down. He's like giving his teammates the nods that, okay, we know what we did wrong, and we are going to be able to do much better going into this one.
Well, they will have to do much better if they want to be able to win this one here. And Llama's going to start off with the first blood. The guy that was not looking too good, too hot in the first map of this series. Hope gets 2. Hope is continuing to shine bright like a diamond. And Weary will drop as well. So a flawless start for this search and destroy for New Threat. And it's momentum that continues to chug in their favor. I don't know, Comica. What's going to have to be put up on the board here with the offensive side now for Team cTc?
Well, they seem just overall unready for that push from New Threat. I mean, how could you think that anything else was going to happen? They were aping you in the hard point, and they're continuing to ape you now. So cTc Gold, while they're on the attack, I think they can afford to let their opponents sort of come to them a little bit. New Threat definitely have an air of superiority around them and aggression. So yeah, you see it now. 0-4. He's not afraid to try and get up close and personal with these opponents. So if I were cTc, I would definitely be trying to let my opponents come to me.
Oh, 0-4, just massive cojones here, just walking straight into gunfights and gunfire, finding the first blood, or not first blood, but one of the first kills for his team. Kefren hiding out in this cubby will find one, looking for the other players in here. He's going to be smothered by the other 2, but only needs to play. Oh, he plays them separately. Maybe the last player here for the individual effort. The 1 versus 4 could have come to fruition. It's a sniper rifle on the other side over by Dice. What's going to happen? Ladies and gentlemen, it's deceptions. Who's going to happen right here? Getting that kill and getting New Threat another round on the board.
Oh, I thought it was going to happen, Trix, but unfortunately for Kefren, Deceptions does find a stray automaton on the ground, and he's no longer at the mercy of a sniper anymore. If he misses the shot, then he will be losing the fight, and so, yeah, not really having to worry about that anymore. Deceptions does take that round home. Although, Kefren, it was some good efforts, I'm not going to lie. The one thing I do have to say, though, is that New Threat, exactly as I said, they're being very aggressive on their opponents. So cTc, they can sort of afford to sit back a little bit, in my opinion, and let some more angles open up as opposed to trying to meet their opponents halfway.
Yeah, this time around, it's going to be Deceptions rocking the sniper rifle, but still, once again, another A play and push comes through from New Threat. So far, so good, and all good for them as the kills just continue to go their way. They show off a sort of slaying heavy and fast approach in this search and destroy here on Berlin that you don't really see too often, and they're being extremely well rewarded for it, just finessing and dripping in it against the side of cTc Gold.
Yeah, again, I feel like cTc's not quite taking the hint that they should play a little bit more back and together. You see they're getting sort of pieced about by New Threat. One of the major things in the beginning of that round, you didn't see it, it was off screen, it was Hope. He got all the way around the side of the map and shot them all in the back on the B side of the map. So that's another thing you got to avoid if you're cTc.
Well, and a Volk's on the field as well for one. We might start to see some memeing and some joking around coming through from New Threat, as they already do see 3 drop on their side. 0-4 last alive with the Volk, going to be playing through the middle of the map. His shots are shaky and they're off target. That is cTc Gold winning their first round here in the search and destroy, looking to try to get a semblance of hope started on the map here with that round win.
Yeah, they pretty much did exactly what their opponents did to them. Instead, we saw New Threat trying to split themselves up with one on the other side of the map, whereas cTc Gold, they finally got together as a team and they pushed right through with superior manpower into the New Threat group. They played off each other very well, judging by what I saw on the minimap. And it left Hope in a very difficult position to come back into, which was an entire group full of enemy players on the site.
Deceptions takes a shot at a few players crossing over by Garden, misses that one, but the action still continues to ensue over by that A point, and New Threats 0-4 will grab himself some two kills actually over by the hill. And now Weary playing in Garden solo dolo, looking to find 0-4. 0-4 finds himself the third. Can he get the ace? Ladies and gentlemen, it's in front of his face, but unfortunately not found yet.
Oh, and he's not going to be getting it, but coming in with the disrespect. If there was anything left of the imagination tricks that New Threat aren't taking cTc Gold seriously at all, it is this right here. Hope. He has the audacity to go in and punch this dude right in the nose, punches his nose bone through the brain in proper Mike Tyson fashion. And, oh my god, it's just like, you gotta give your opponents a reason to give you some respect at this point, Tricks. You gotta stay a little bit further back. Don't take them on the debates every single time in a row, and cover your flanks. This is rudimentary stuff, and cTc is having difficulties with it.
Comica. I thought 0-4 was on New Threat.
Yeah, he is. Oh, I see. I see. Go ahead. Tell me why that's funny.
I thought he was on New Threat, but looking over at Zimothy up until now, he was pulling an 0-4. Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, the guy I was touting to be some supernatural search and destroy star for the side of cTc Gold looks more like a dead star. I don't know where I was going to go with that one. More like Pluto, actually, losing his... I think he's getting disnamed, disowned here. No longer considered a planet. As right now, got New Threat trying to get another round to go their way, but unfortunately put in a 1 versus 2 situation is their guy number 3 in Hope.
Well, when Hope is alive, there's always a little bit of hope, but he's got not a lot of time to do it, and now they know exactly where he is without putting a single shot onto Veery. When the bad thing for cTc is that they're dividing up from each other, and Hope is going towards the bomb site. They gotta hope that Hope doesn't decide to go for the bomb site now, but now Veery's in a pretty good position to get some callouts. He weakens him up a little bit, but he's past his area of influence. He's not going to be effective in dealing with Hope. It's going to be a 1v1 here, and he goes into the site. Now he's been given the time to go back in. Are they going to be able to check it in time? The answer should be yes. He sees him on the floor, and he does take him down. cTc Gold, nail biter, but they still get it done.
Yeah, if that defuse would have gotten through, I think I would have lost it. I think I really would have lost it there, especially with Zimothy having had that opportunity to, turn things around there. Like he was 0-4. But now he got that kill. He's 2-4. It's looking better now. Maybe he can start continuing to get his team to shape up and potentially turn around this search and destroy. It's 4-2 right now in the scoreline. And Comica, if my memory does serve me correct, it's the team here that gets to 6 to win this one. So still 2 more rounds needed for New Threat.
Oh, and we're on quite the pivotal round, Tricks. There's someone, Keprin, right underneath his opponent, but Llama's going to be going down, and now Keprin, he knows that time is of the essence. He's going to go in and try and get the bomb planter, and does. And just like that, the push that has been so good for New Threat up until this point is completely and utterly dashed into smithereens. Deceptions. He knows that there's basically nothing he can do in the situation as it stands, so he's waiting for his opponents to come into him. And somehow, some way, it's going to work as Keprin completely gives up his life. And now Deceptions, they know he's in the back of the map. 45 seconds, they've got the bomb down, Tricks. cTc Gold, this is their round to win.
Or their round to lose. If
if
Deceptions does manage to find some more picks and territory over by the bomb site that has the bomb at it, I believe the A one. So Deceptions, he has the opportunity to also maybe hold his life with 1 kill. Think maybe he could go for streaks. I don't know. But he's going to play the same route that we saw the man Hope play last time around, looking to find anybody over by the desks. So far, not finding anybody, but now finding a player, but another player finds him from behind. That's New Threat, dropping another round, I think 3 straight. And so we are seeing the side of cTc Gold actually looking competitive now in the search.
Yeah, it's because they're finally starting to make those adaptations, Tricks. Like I said, New Threat has been making the same push every single round in a row when they've been on the attack, and it hasn't failed yet. In cTc Gold, they finally make the adjustments necessary. They finally pull Keprin out of that little office and put him underneath the stairs, and that flank is one of the things that made the round. Another thing, Tricks, is that they just won round number K7, as like we like to call it here, and so that is leading us to believe that it might be a comeback in the favor of cTc Gold now.
Hey, and if you look at the 4 and the 3 in the streaks columns for cTc Gold, it makes a 7 as well. But now streaks on the horizon for Zimothy. He grabs himself the glide bomb, and Weary one off of his own glide bomb as well. This is a real tide turner if I have seen one, and it's this novel of a matchup is looking like a page turner as well, as now 0-4 an opportunity to maybe surprise and take down the player in office. Unfortunately, he should die himself as a sitting duck behind that pillar.
Wow, Tricks. It's really looking like the round 7 curse has been gifted to cTc Gold. They're playing so much better as a team. Those kills in the beginning around from Zimothy were huge. They didn't just yeet themselves into the site like they did the last time without figuring out generally where their opponents, what corners they were going to be at. Instead, they tried to burst open the door, but they couldn't. It was because there was a player behind it, and they tried to shoot them through the door. But instead, the bullets came back the other way and killed them. Feels bad for Llama, I believe it was. But now, cTc Gold, we're starting to see them finally playing like a team, Tricks. And this is exactly why I was giving them mad gas at the beginning. Is because when they do play like a team, they can be giant killers.
We're going to find a kill here to get that strafing run. Not going to find it. 0-4 finds him instead. The boogeyman 0-4, 11-6. While over on the side of cTc Gold, the standout player there, Kefrin, 7-7. While Zimothy on that 6 streak should have the second streak. No, actually, not going to have that second streak, as he also drops in that little skirmish that happened over at the bomb site. And now it's all up to Kefrin in the 1 versus 3. The bomb is down in their team's favor. Gonna find
Kefrin?
2 massive kills, and the last one still to find. Has knowledge, has tagged him like a piece of clothing at an Old Navy. What else can happen here?
Yeah, unfortunately, if he does get this kill, which he will because his opponent runs right past him, he is not going to be winning the round because time does dwindle on away. But the good thing for them right now, Tricks, is that if they can win this next round, I think that there's a good chance that they will, because correct me if I'm wrong, but Zimothy picked up a streak and he did not use it in that last round, so he still got it. And now Keprin, he's in a position where he can also get streaks if he can get 2 more kills in this round going into the final round. cTc, obviously, they have to win this round. This is the one that's to play for right now, but I'm really curious to see how they're going to come out of this. It looks like they're going for a B hit with an emphasis on mid control. And so with how aggressive New Threat has been, this might catch them off guard a bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but all these players caught up inside the mailroom is going to only find 1 kill. That's the first blood for Zimothy onto 0-4. Another player still in behind enemy lines. Llama finding the kill onto Zimothy will shut whatever streak he might have looked to build, as Dyer finds the quick trade. Kefrin as well with the kill. This should be a round that cTc Gold can't lose no longer. And there you go. It's cTc Gold coming through with the win on that round, tying things up, sending us to that delicious round 11. Oh, baby, baby.
Wow, Tricks. I'm honestly a little bit shocked that we're here, but also not shocked at the same time, because I know that cTc, they can do this kind of thing if they are playing at their best, but they weren't playing at their best earlier, and I was worried that they were going to get a little bit too down in the dumps, as some teams do, and they can't get out of their funk. But clearly they have, and New Threat, they're making some grievously massive errors that have costed them to lose that round after they're being incredibly aggressive still. They're not picking up on the fact that cTc Gold has gotten themselves ready for it. But now this aggression might play into their favor, as they're going to be not going for the plant. That's a little bit curious. Let me know what you think about that, Tricks.
I think that is a big no-no. I think now that they've given cTc Gold so much time to work with here, that now cTc Gold, they have to know somebody's inside of the B site. Zimothy, he's going to look to play it very cautiously here, as he just needs to hop in through that window. There is a player hiding in wait. Hope finding a trade kill onto Weary is good, but is it good enough? It's a 3 versus 3 situation, a bit stale mated. It's a dire situation for the side of cTc, especially with Dire over behind enemy lines. Finds up 2. Now a last player alive just outside the bomb site will fall. And that is the win right there for cTc Gold as Zimothy spits on Llama.
Oh, giving the spit right on back to Llamatrix. You love to see it. cTc Gold, they didn't look like they had a hope in the entire world, but they adapted, and New Threat still thought they could continuously spit on them that entire time, gave them no respect, and cTc shoves it right back in their face, and now we are 1-1 in the series. It could have easily been avoided by New Threat, but gotta take your opponents seriously, especially when they are some of the top teams in your group, man.
Hey, and that guy that I said would make a difference for the side of cTc, finding that final kill to nail in the coffin that search and destroy. So it's a one-apiece situation. It's a scenario that now leads me to believe even further that this control can really make and break this series. For the side of cTc Gold, they need to show that they have at least some sort of signs of life when it comes to respawn, that they have to show that they have the ability to push New Threat, because right now I have no belief in that hard point being able to go the way of cTc Gold. But Comica, when it comes to this Tuscan control, what can we look at when we look at both of these two teams as being the strengths and the successful things that need to happen for either of those teams to come out on top?
Yeah, the major thing here, Trix, obviously, is we've seen on many Tuscans at this point, you and me, that when you do get down to beat the B objective, it's a very difficult little dance to do. You got to make sure that you don't give up too much ground in your back spawn or in the middle of the map, but you also got to make sure you don't run out of lives as well by trying to hold all those things and you're spreading yourself too thin. So New Threat, we've seen them in the hard point able to get a lot of kills, especially Hope, and even when they're by themselves up against superior numbers. And that's the major thing I'm worried about cTc going into this, is that they might get a little bit disjointed and they won't have as many times to hit the reset button as they do in the Search and Destroy. Coming at it from the other side though, Trix, New Threat were looking incredibly sloppy at the end of that Search and Destroy. They were making the most inadvisable challenges I've seen in a long time, especially in this league. So cTc Gold, they are looking like they have come up to the occasion, whereas New Threat are still thinking that their opponents are trash, which they're clearly not anymore. You just lost a round to them. So this is the key moment for New Threat. Do they sort of lose their confidence a little bit because they just lost a huge advantage? Or do they say, all right, game on cTc, we're going to play you as true equals now? I think both are likely to happen, but I can't say which is going to, because I don't know the inner thoughts of these players.
It's the whole sink or swim sort of scenario here for both these teams. You saw New Threat rise above their opponents very, very convincingly in the first hard point. cTc Gold turn around a 4-0 start that New Threat had, and they come around and win that round 11. Massive moment for them in terms of motivation, in terms of confidence, in terms of momentum. Now, New Threat, have you guys lost full? That's the question. I feel like another one that needs to kind of be answered. How can you answer that map loss with a map win coming into that control? Tuscan, well, they already looked good on Tuscan in that first map of the day, but this is a different mode. This is a different team, arguably, because cTc Gold now feel like they've been warmed up more.
Yes,
they have a map win under their belt, some confidence that has boosted them. The morale of the team has to be together more too here. I feel like we're looking at a control that could definitely go the distance of a 5-rounder on Tuscan. But of course, we all need to wait and see how things play out when the map is actually ready. So ladies and gentlemen, while we get ready for that next map to pop up, we will head to a short break. We hope you guys enjoy that and then enjoy the action following.
go so fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know I'm patient.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and the Pastisseria is where we see one of these teams spawning next to here on that map of Tuscan for this control. And, well, when I say I'm back, it's Fortrix, and I'm back joined by Comica once again for the action tonight. Comica, what an exciting map 3 we have here to commence.
Oh, it's even made even more exciting, Tricks, by the fact that cTc Gold just took one out of the jaws of victory for New Threat. New Threat, they were feeling pretty good in that last map, but they were left feeling very, very betrayed and bruised and beaten by cTc Gold as the game is now 1-1. New Threat, this is the sink or swim moment like we were saying, where they really need to make a clap back now, or they can probably see the series going the other way.
Yeah, cTc Gold, decent start for them. They are going to be on that offensive side here, and when I look at the two control maps, I feel like this one could maybe lead to having a better opportunity for offense here, taking this map itself. And cTc Gold already 2 ticks of progress already taken by A. It's a good sign for them.
Yeah, and they're already trying to transition over to B. You see Dire, he's going to get killed by 0-4, unfortunately for him, but now Zimothy in the middle of the map as well. They're starting to try and get themselves going in different spots. Hope he spots a very key moment from Keprin trying to go through the middle of the map. Keprin does actually kill his teammate. Good thing he was there in order to capitalize on that. But now notice, Zimothy has made his way into the spawn of his opponents. He could eventually, if he gets enough intel, start to flip things going the other way. He's looking for the player on the tank, but he should be looking for the player on the point. Yep, and in the meantime, Zimothy in the back here, he's only as good as his teammates start getting kills. They really need to start getting some people for him to kill off the respawn. And now you're starting to see New Threat. They're probably going to pick up on the fact that there's somebody in their spawn. Zimothy, he spawned them out towards flower pots. Normally that doesn't happen unless there is someone close up on you in their spawn. And it's actually killing the cTc players that are trying to push up that way by the fact that they're spawning their opponents closer than they anticipate. Keprin getting a good kill there as well. If they can get this kill in the middle, yes, Keprin, he might be able to break things open from church. And with Zimothy in his good position here as well, cTc might be able to start making some plays. Llama trying to break this from behind. He's got Dire, but no, actually, Dire's got him. New Threat down in the lives and down in the ticks. 0-4 trying to come from around the side, but cTc should know something like this is coming because of where they're forcing their opponents to spawn. But too many attacks coming from too many different ways. You're going to start to see cTc Gold getting whittled off the objective, trying to hold their mid-map positions. This is going pretty well for them. The mid-map hold at the very least, but that's up until Deceptions gets 4 kills in a row. Deceptions, I think, is going to be, yes, they really need to get a kill right now onto Deceptions. He's up inside of P5, and he is going to be getting that final kill, which gives him the glide bomb. So it's a get out of jail free card if you do need it on the side of New Threat. cTc also starting to run out of lives. They have completely run out of respawn. So Zimothy around the back could get a good kill onto Llama, yes, and now he's going to try and run away. He's going to try and catch Hope on the rotation, but Hope, he's too slick for this kind of thing, Tricks. Cool. He's going to catch him while he tries to do it, and cTc, it's looking like they're what's going to whittle down first, the time or their lives.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the time here, or their life. I don't even know if they really throw themselves at it. I wouldn't want to give away more kills because, like we both know, at the end of the day here, when it comes to round 5, it's determined based off of the kill difference. So that's why they wouldn't maybe throw their life away to give more kills over to their opposition in that scenario. But here we go. That's that first round going the way of New Threat. We got round number 2 coming up here. And like I said at the top of this map, sure, the offense might have a bit of a better time on this map than in Gavudu. It's still defensive favorite.
Yeah, what's really gonna be telling tricks is how well New Threat does on this attack, as you just said. We saw cTc Gold get A with relative ease, but not the same is going to be happening for New Threat. Although I must say, New Threat is trying a bit of a different strategy. They're going for an A hit, then a B hit. They're trying to move their opponents around instead of cTc Gold, where they tried to focus all their manpower in one spot. Now we're gonna be putting both those strategies to the test and see which one can get you further.
Yeah, big kill by Zimothy, taking a player off that B point, who was kind of annoying as well. But Deceptions, massive three-piece, taking down Dyer, Zimothy, and Kefren. Talk about things that are delicious. Well, that right there is definitely something that he enjoyed to full extent. Now, New Threat, 1 tick of progress, fully captured over by B. 1 tick over by A. A minute still on the clock as well to work for an 0-4, finding a very nice needle-threaded kill through window.
Yeah, cTc Gold, you either need to get back on B in force, or you need to make your opponents pay for it by getting a spawn trap a little bit more. You see cTc, they're trying to get a little bit more of a cutoff on the spawns. They're trying to isolate the 2 players on the objective and at least make the ticking go a bit slower, which is not really seeming to work too well, as they're not able to kill the players off the objective tricks, and the players are also getting out of the spawns. So cTc not really reacting too well in the late game with this strategy after some sustained pressure, it seems like.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bizarre strategy when it comes to actually countering what New Threat's been doing. But right now, Deceptions, once again, another 3-piece. The guy is piecing them like chicken at Popeyes, ladies and gentlemen. This is, finger-licking good work from Deceptions here. The super sub, I want to add that back right in there. And he also got himself up to an 8-kill streak. That is just, formidable.
Oh, Kefren, he's got to be getting some kills here. cTc Gold, once again, are down on the live, and that could be their final nail in the coffin. Very huge kill on that tank player. Their teammate would not have spawned there, but again, cTc Gold are getting caught out, isolated. New Threat is just using their slaying power to their advantage, and now they're up by 7 lives. cTc Gold, there's no coming back from these deaths as they take another one. Zimothy trying to run down the clock, but there's too much to run down here, in my opinion, Tricks. You might be seeing New Threat drawing first blood on the attack.
Yeah, Deceptions here. Jason Bourne behind enemy lines, doing absolutely dirty things. New Threat win another round. And it's 2-0 in this control. One that I thought would be closer is definitely not as close as the connection I have with Comica here. As we're in this round number 3, and it's looking like it could be a clean sweep here in this control for New Threat.
I'm glad you feel a connection with me, Trix. I feel one with you too. Returning it right back at you. But yeah, Deceptions. He did not stop pretty much for that entire round. He got like 9 or 8 kills in a row without stopping, and he's got streaks. So again, they got the get out of jail free card if they do decide that they need it. And this would be a position where I would think about using it, with how cTc Gold has been grouping themselves up on these objectives. Where, yeah, exactly. That's what he's thinking as well. They're going to knock them off, slow the spread from on the objective from cTc Gold, and yeah, they will be knocking them completely off of it. cTc Gold, plan A not working, so they're going for plan B.
Yeah, it's what ends up happening when you do get that situation where there's an overload over at A. They force the spawns to happen down by Shingles, and so that's why all those players played towards B for cTc Gold. And they get a tick of progress there, have a player over by A that's spreading them out. That's a good look from them. But New Threat still just able to deal with whatever threat cTc Gold seems to put in front of them.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Deception spawned literally right in front of Kefren. That is crazy. But Kefren is going to be leading to Kefren killing him. And New Threat, they are going to be getting relegated over to B. 1 full tick over on the other objective, and 3 lives in the advantage for cTc Gold. Those lives are going to swiftly start getting put to the test as Deception takes down 1, but it's going to be swiftly replied on by cTc Gold. They're using the time a lot more effectively, in my opinion, Tricks, whereas in the last one they ran out of lives. And this time, they're trying to use the 2 minutes that they have in order to get some more kills, and these kills are going to be paying dividends in the fact that Dyer now has streaks. If he can get 1 more, which he can't, he would have had 2, but still, this is a good advantage for them potentially going into this final take.
I like this middle map control play from the player in Deceptions. But now with all the players over by B, we're looking at Zimothy himself, the man, the myth, the legend from the search to try to make some magic happen. Gets himself 2 big kills, taking down Deceptions as well as my feed gets a bit fuzzy. But you know what's fuzzier than my feed? It's the necklace hanging by the neck of the man, Zimothy. He enjoys wearing jewelry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where the heck I was going with that, but there you go.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Either way, Dire, he's going to be calling in a streak, taking down 0-4 off the objective, giving themselves a momentary manpower advantage. But they're going to be still forcing him to spawn towards tank with these spawns that they've got so far. Keprin, he's going to try and do some damage on the approaching players, but they've got Hope trying to hunker down, make sure that they don't get flanked from the side. This is still a good setup from New Threat, although Viri does whittle them down. Time has also been whittled down, Tricks, so cTc Gold, they gotta make a move now or never, and it's gotta be a good one. Otherwise, if it goes too badly for them, they might run out of time.
Yeah, 8 versus 3 in lives here. New Threat, no more respawns remaining for them here. Kefren in an opportunity to spoil the party in the back here. He's gonna look to flank this player in number 7, but that's Hope, who, if you still got Hope, you still have a ball game, and oh, Lord finds himself 2. The time is stopped, but unfortunately, he will be stopped. So New Threat, do not close out this map here. They have to try and do it within these next 2 rounds, as we see once again, it could be that cTc comeback looming.
Yeah, but the thing, though, Tricks, is that one of a facilitator, I'm not going to say the facilitator or even a major one, but definitely a thing that let cTc Gold get their comeback the last time is that New Threat got very complacent. They don't seem to be having that same complacency going into this one, although I could be totally mistaken. Llama seems to be getting right up in their grill and giving his life away, so I might have been a bit off the ball on that one. New Threat, they seem to be trying to supplement their lack of wins with more aggression.
Yeah, they could use some extra vitamin D with the fact that Deceptions, man, he looks like at times like he no-lifes the game. The guy is just an absolute genie. But we got the side of cTc Gold with Kefren, who's no-lifing right now, dropping a 30 bomb on New Threat in a respawn game type. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not an easy feat in the AM scene online league amateur stuff. Man, oh man, cTc Gold maybe looking to turn a cornerstone here.
Definitely looking to turn a new page in the chapter of this match. Dire getting right up and close and personal, but he is going to be going down. So, New Threat, they're going to be able to get up onto the objective without too much of a threat. Now, Dire, the one thing about that push that I'm going to criticize is that he doesn't have a whole lot stuck back from the rest of his team in order to stop a push coming back out in an effective one if he does die on that push. So, could have been put together a little bit better, the defense from cTc going into this take, but New Threat, they're going to be capitalizing on it completely nonetheless. They will be getting complete control over A, and you see cTc, they are content to let this happen and try and set up for the next hill. Viri going to be on the tank. This is a key moment. If he gets pushed, he needs to hold this.
Oh, for sure, and he will get pushed. He does tag 1. He has number 3 looking to try to help him out, but that's just one trade happening inside of Church. They give over that real estate, and now Kefren looking to take it right back, finds one, does spot the other one, watches his back, so keeps watching for that player, but decides to reach out, and Deceptions exercises him from that Church. And we see this side of cTc Gold, their defense absolutely foiled, and the side of New Threat fuming.
Yeah, man. Coming undone at the seams as cTc as they get full team wiped once again for just a moment. They do catch Hope at the top of the map, but they need to catch the people on the objective because time is a ticking away, and they are about to get to their second tick. Reinforcements about to arrive as well. You see Kefren trying to get on that. He will take down 1 before he does go down, and that forces New Threat to get off the objective at least momentarily. And this is going to be a key moment for Dire. He can't get the break from the back, and now New Threat, they will be winning the map for some good hold down defense on the objective.
Comica! 0-4 went on a 9 streak to end that one. Oh, baby! 0-4! You're a dirty, dirty Damon! 31-27 for the man of 0-4. What a great turnaround for him and his team there in that map. to, to respond back after that round loss as if it didn't even happen in the first place. Really strong work put through by the side of New Threat. And they're now 2 up here going into another hard point. This is looking like it could be the series ender here, but does cTc Gold have something up their sleeve? They won a Berlin map before. It was Search and Destroy, a completely different game mode, but maybe that's just their map. I don't know.
Yeah, that map 3 loss is definitely a dagger tricks. You can't not say that. cTc Gold is going to hurt their chances. I wouldn't say tremendously, but it's definitely going to hurt them greatly. New Threat is definitely looking the favorites to take their first series of the entire season out of their 2 technical games being played. But yeah, cTc Gold, they've still got a little bit of life. We've seen them come back tremendously from the mindset that we saw them in going into the hardpoint, where they made a lot of individual challenges without any major purpose of getting them too much benefits going towards the objective or overall map control. They just seem to try and push the objective a little bit aimlessly. But this time around, when we're going into Berlin, I don't think we're going to be seeing necessarily the same thing because of their reset in the Search and Destroy. We saw a little bit out of them in the control as well, so it's not totally died out, despite the fact that New Threat has definitely risen back up out of their seats because they were probably slouching a little bit playing their games like this, saying, oh, cTc, you're too easy. And after the round before that, they were like, all right, game on, we're playing for real, we're leaning forward, as typical Call of Duty player, leaning forward an inch away from his screen. Yeah, New Threat, they're definitely ready to fight, and I think this is going to be a true test for cTc Gold on the hard points.
Yeah, if cTc Gold do want to try to take this one, I feel like some of the important things that you're going to have to work on are, number one, they're going to have to not be broken too easily, like what we saw in that first hard point. Even if they got early rotations, like for instance, when they got early rotated towards Church, that's supposed to be a money hill. When they got early rotated to Fountain, it's supposed to be a money hill. In both those situations, it didn't print them enough money for them to really see anything really to smile about. They got 100-point clubbed. And this time around, they need to try to avoid that for sure, the 100-point clubbing. But on top of that, they need to try to find some fix for their abilities to just be broken too easy when they do get a hold of a hill and are able to set up well. When it comes to the side of cTc Gold, I'm looking at Kefren to be a spark for them. He was a spark for them in this last map, the Control. He dropped over 30 kills. We need to see another repeat in this next map here in this Berlin hard point, hopefully from him, and then also his teammates maybe standing up on their feet as well, meeting the same firepower that their teammates bring into the table, because it's going to take a full team effort to be able to take down this New Threat side that will look so strong, and that initial hard point on Tuscan.
Yeah, another key player is going to be Zimothy. He's their smart sub-rotator player, and on a map like this, that could be huge. Keprin going to be on the objective with an automaton this time. Returning fire is going to be New Threat, and they do actually get the better of Keprin. But cTc Gold, they're at least keeping them away from the objective. New Threat, though, they are very careful tricks in how they push these objectives, so it's not too surprising to see them not push in with how they've been recently after they get just 1 kill.
Yeah, but you also have to think this is a really hard hill to retake and to break into. So at least some of that is going the way of cTc Gold. They got good spawns as well for it to start this one, or at least good side for this one. And 15 seconds remaining. It's going to be the side of New Threat that are going to be set up better for this next hill to come on board. But number 8 in Weary, he's looking to put a wrench in that plan.
Ooh, but he is going to be getting put down by 04, who's been a mainstay as well. We can't forget about him when we're talking about Subs Dire. He's going to run right past Deceptions. That is absolutely crazy. Gets in on the objective, sees the enemy player, and that's time. Time that New Threat needs. They're going to have to fly back in very quickly, and it disjoints their setup tricks. That's the major thing out of that, is that they had a good organized setup, but one player getting in through the crack, they all panic, and they try and converge on the objective, and it puts them all in key positions where cTc can easily shoot them in the back. It's exactly what happens, and now cTc putting together 2 good back-to-back kills.
Yeah, big oof moment right there for the side of New Threat, but cTc Gold, they get absolutely cleared in the responding break from New Threat, and New Threat also worried about that rotation for P3. And so they're going to get set up there. They get some of that scrap time. They get to build and bake the cake for that P3. And maybe, just maybe, they get to enjoy it as well. But Kefren, he's looking to take down 04. Finds him right by that statue. Looks for the next one. Does drop. And we will see the side of New Threat enjoy the cake of that P3.
I'm a little bit curious about what Hope was doing there. He was just trying to punch the windows, and then he just got killed off the last 10 seconds. Not quite a feels good man moment there from him, but obviously they're well rotated and they're feeling good about themselves. The thing though is that Weary is going to be trying to cut them off at the stem from their spawn, and oh, they all line up for Dire! They all line up for him, and that's going to be time again wasted for New Threat. They're going to be able to get back on, however, and they completely wipe out the cTc squad. So this should be, after a little bit of hiccups, tricks, some good time for New Threat.
Jesus, man. They lined up like kindergartners going on a trip holding hands on that rope. As Llama, he's going to be left sitting all alone in the back here over by that point. Will get taken out, but I think that's got to be a good thing for the side of New Threat. Oh, I thought it would be a good thing. I thought he'd get a good squad spawn, and unfortunately doesn't. So cTc Gold, they're looking poised to be able to take control of this this new P4 off the rip, getting the initial touch as well for a moment.
Oh, but behind them is going to be Zimothy. He's taking down the players that are trying to go on to the objective. But, yeah, Llama is nice and ready. Veery also in a great position. He's going to be trying to take down one, but he finds two. He's going to get one. He might be able to take on both here, Tricks, as Deceptions. He is all by himself up against a swarm of cTc. They will be able to... Oh, what a grenade from Hope! Just as I'm saying that, he hits it perfectly, and he kills all three of the players on that advance. What a moment for New Threat.
Man, this Hope guy is Pope, man. Like, you know, it's the joke, but it's also like a bit of fact, really. Like, he's blessing the point right here with that nade, and then his teammates also around him get some Pope buff when they have him on their team. I don't know what it is, but this guy's a special player for sure to watch moving forward in Call of Duty. But New Threat, they're in the lead right now by a little bit. As cTc Gold, they have control of that middle point here, this P5 for a little bit, until broken up now by New Threat to break over that 100-point mark first.
Yeah, but you see New Threat, Tricks, they're being very patient in their attacks. They're not settling for just one kill. They need to get at least 2 or 3. That's exactly what happens. They wipe out the cTc Gold defenses, and now they're able to completely go into those same defenses and take them on themselves. So that's some good time now going in the hands of New Threat. That's something that cTc did not need. It would have been better if no one had gotten really any time off it, but now cTc, the status quo is really going into the hands of New Threat, and now the spawns are as well. So Zimothy, they need to see him getting a good rotation here, but unfortunately the squad spawn coming in, it's going to be a tough show for Zimothy trying to break these spawns.
Man, Hope just right there, able to get multiple different kills. Oh, feed him another one. This guy is a monster here. And the side of cTc Gold looking like they're griefing right now with the fact they're just giving him free kills. The guy's farming bodies here instead of fruits and vegetables. As right now, big play over by those mid steps. Reminds me of Capsidal and his massive play over by those steps that got him the play of the month, I believe, in a recent esports awards.
Yeah, I actually saw that earlier today on Twitter. Hats off to Capsidal, but also hands off to good old Hope, as he's taking their heads off right now, fully on streaks, keeping cTc Gold relegated to their spawns. 14 seconds remaining on this objective, and they're already ready for the next one, but their main streaking players, 04 and good old Hope, are going to be brought back down to earth slightly, although they are going to be getting the benefits. You see, New Threat, I feel like they're starting to not totally take this seriously again. We saw Hope doing that earlier. He's just punching stuff for fun, and I guess that's an attempt to sort of rub it into cTc Gold, like, oh, I don't even have to try very hard.
Man, Dire just got a few kills right there from that dice with nice precision as well. Looking to maybe catch another player as Deceptions was able to sniff out the trouble there and find him. Deceptions looking for some players that look absolutely lost in the sauce over by this point. We'll clean up another one as We see the side of New Threat now doubling their opponents in points here. This is looking like it could be a done deal and dusted map going into this next hard point.
Yeah, New Threat, they're looking well and truly better than cTc Gold at this point. They're killing them so much that cTc Gold at this point, I was criticizing them earlier for making solo pushes, but at this point they have pretty much no choice. They've been getting killed all along the way to the objective just because of some superior gun power from New Threat, and so they have to make these pushes that are ultimately going to fail just to try and put their opponents off even a little bit. Speaking of putting their opponents off a little bit, they're going to be knocking them out of the spawn, so Zimothy takes a 1v1, but it takes him too long, and now the New Threat players spawning on the opposite end of the map tricks are already there for the retake.
Yep, and with the streak also invested here from Hope, it only gives information, no kill needed. Deceptions find a kill by the street, and Hope, he's in the hill. He is going to be able to get the kill, and still with 25 seconds remaining on this hill, it won't be the one that ends the map. We will see another one here come in, and cTc Gold this time around, not 100 point clubbed, no siree.
I was about to point that out too, actually, Trix. At least they're improving. Not going to get 100-point club today. No siree. Not again, cTc Gold. But it's looking very likely that their time in this match is coming to an end unless they do something absolutely crazy. Fury, he's going to C1, takes down 04, but there's plenty more where that came from, says New Threat, as we've got Hope, the duo, ready to do some damage, but he's got his own duos up in there as well, so cTc, they are going to be taking a momentary amount of time, and Llama holding his spot down and making it so that when his teammates arrive, they've got a nice crossfire position. They use that to completely break the objective. cTc Gold stuck in their spawns, and what a terrible streak from Hope!
Hey, at this point, I feel like he did that on purpose, man. And I know the kid. I know the kid. He's definitely having some fun right now, joking around with his teammates, throwing streaks left, right, and center. He might even call in a glide bomb and use it to take out one of his own teammates at this point as well. Just a fun time for this side of New Threat. And while cTc Gold, while this side of New Threat is monkeying around, they're looking to continue to try to still treat this one as a serious and winnable map, which, quite frankly, it still can be.
It still can be, indeed. Now, I gotta agree with you on that one. Initially, I saw it, and I'm like, Hope, what are you doing? But obviously, a player of his caliber does not do something like that by accident. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But it's still pretty funny to see. cTc Gold, they're trying to get some good time off of the hardest objective to get time on, and they lose 2 already. Although cTc, they realize the position that they're in, they're trying to hunker down and wait for their teammates to come back in. Tricks is some learning, but is it going to be learning too late for cTc? It's looking like it. It's looking like it.
They won't be getting much time off of this hill, but neither will their opponents. It's going to be interesting to see if whether or not cTc can flip out New Threat and look to get on that at P1 first. I feel like whoever can get there first will take a huge amount of momentum, but man, Deception's beaming 3 right there. 8 seconds remaining on the clock for this hill. We will be getting ready for that P1 with a few kills happening right there. It means that cTc Gold, they're off to the races. They need to try to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah, and Zimothy going to be slipping through the cracks, is going to contest some time for a little bit. That's a little bit scary, but cTc Gold, they're going to be losing all of their players once again. 04 in their spawn, doing some damage, and does enough to where cTc Gold are not going to be able to touch this hill up against them ever again. Now, New Threat, they combine their, I would say, a little bit cockiness with some good performances. So it's not cockiness. They are going to be just styling on their opponents, winning in style. Tricks.
Yeah, they managed to win it in style there, and well, if I am cTc, I'm really looking to try to put an emphasis on hardpoint practice. I want to improve come playoff time. The opportunity to still try to turn things around and win the league. It would be a large mountain to climb, especially against some of the likes of those teams like UGK and Team Final Strike, top 16 teams. Respectively in North American Challengers. Well, we are going to be saying goodnight to this series and goodbye to this series. It was one that did have a lot of moments of entertainment and that showed signs of hope for both of these two teams. You know, cTc Gold, they definitely showed like they got a ton of promise when it comes to search and destroy, even though it wasn't convincing. They did, however, sweep our hearts away, I think, when it comes to the fact that they came back on that search and destroy and then came through with the win.
Yeah, sadly, Trix, hope is only on one of these rosters, and that is New Threat, and they're going to be the one that wins, funnily enough. But yeah, I gotta side with you on that one. cTc Gold, despite the fact that they lost the series, it was a valiant effort in the search and destroy, and they showed New Threat that they gotta take them a little bit more seriously. And so, yeah, that's a little bit of a difficult one for cTc to lose, especially when you're talking about top 4 spots qualifying. That puts them on the chopping block. So if they lose another game, they've really got to win theirs up against Dawn of Chaos now, because that's really going to be their opponent for that 4th spot.
Yeah, for sure. And well, why don't we look at the standings as well and maybe look to break down a bit of the implications this match has on them. So from already some knowledge of what's gone down so far, outside of things, New Threat, they lost their match already this week, their other one against Team Final Strike. They end the week in a 1-1 because they do take the win here against cTc Gold, which is a good look for them. They should jump up the standings maybe by 1 spot, give or take. Yeah, actually, it's going to be 1 spot only, give or take Pulsive's results this week. Well, you look over at cTc Gold, they're going to take the loss here. I'm not quite sure who else they had managed to match up against this week and whether or not that was a win or a loss. Kama, could happen to have any knowledge on that one?
I do. They actually won their match earlier in this week up against 0-2-1. So 0-2-1 is going to be falling ever so lower than cTc Gold, so they're safe in that aspect. But with New Threat on the come up, eventually one of these teams has to drop down from top 4, in my personal opinion. New Threat, that performance is definitely warranting of a top 4. And so Dawn of Chaos and cTc Gold, in my opinion, have been the weakest looking of those top 4 teams and the most likely to drop out of it. So that is a match that I'm really looking forward to, is those teams against each other.
Dawn of Chaos versus cTc Gold you're talking about?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think as well that that's going to be an interesting one to see unfold, with implications and whatnot. I do think, though, however, the Dawn of Chaos versus New Threat match will be very fun and very entertaining and should be a close one. I feel like Dawn of Chaos might have what it takes to take that one as well, seeing as from what I think I heard, they might have had an opportunity and had taken a map off of Final Strike already. So in a matchup they had already this season, but without a doubt, New Threat, definitely they need to be taken super seriously. Their scoreline or their win-loss ratio is not something to really stare too long at. It's definitely what impact they had on this matchup here, and the Team Final Strike they had as well in their debut week here in the K7 League. That's what you need to keep your notes on, as this is your standings for that Alpha division that was coming into this week, now leaving this week. We've talked a bit about how it could have changed, but now I feel like we got to talk about one last thing, Kalmika, and that's who we deem the MVP of this matchup.
Well,
the player.
It's tough. It's tough because obviously we had that moment from Deceptions, which was awesome, but Hope consistently for me, it's got to be him. Despite the fact that he was not taking the last map seriously, at all. I think he did enough prior to that to where I would have to give him the MVP regardless, Trix.
Yeah, I think I have to do the exact same there. Hope is an unstoppable force right there in in this matchup. He showed it across all 4 maps. All 4 maps, even though we only had 2 that we repeated. But across the 4 that we saw, he was unstoppable. He had a very phenomenal KD across them as well. And that last map, he looked like he was on the Vatican balcony. The way he was perched up on that upper third, getting all those kills. He was at home up there, and he was at home practically this entire series. So that's the man of the match here, ladies and gentlemen. The MVP of this one, it's going to be Hope. And New Threat come out 3-1, swinging for the win. And I feel like to end things all off, we obviously need to make sure we shout out our list of sponsors that we have here, Comica.
We do indeed, Trix. And to start things off, I want to give a big shout out to Get Good Hosts, proving solutions to leagues in teams and scrims and match stat recording, along with HUD multicam display. They're the reason why we are able to get a lot of the stats out of a lot of the matches. We get a Get Good host up in there, and they record the matches, and we get to watch them as well. So if you're interested in stuff like that, go ahead and hit up Get Good host. They got some good prices, as well as innovative gear. They provide the apparel for K7 League for many years. They are very well trusted, and they do a great job as well. So if you're looking for some K7 gear or gear in general, go ahead and give them some love over at Innovative Gear.
Yeah, and you can't forget Glitch Energy. They're a sponsor that has delicious drinks that people can enjoy and maybe use to elevate their energy levels for streaming, for gaming, for maybe even working out, also just your job. It's a great product. I feel like a lot of people should give it a shot. I know G Fuel usually dominates the market, but yeah, give Glitch Energy a shot. They're a special drink company. And we'll talk about what goes with your drink. It's food. It's got to be a snack. It's going to be Killer Jerky, who are our other sponsor here for the K7 League. They do a killer job sponsoring us, and they do a killer job with their product. So got to give them love on those angles and those fronts. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning on in. It's been awesome. It's Fortrix here and my homie Comica. We've had an awesome time bringing you guys the entertainment, the players as well, the teams, the staff, the producers. We got ourselves Hero in the back, who's been having a hoot and a holler with us. We hope you guys had a great time, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Peace out.
Going to be crowned your champions of the K7 League. Folks, welcome to K7.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh,
First kill there by Kilt. The frags rolled on the second is going to be big. Rejects is there. Now Dassin trying to make a play. Will go through one. Tries to free fire onto the second from behind. Here comes Atomic for two.
this is what we know. Here we come back to life, still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna
Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Shifty here, joined by Alex McCormish. Hey, are you ready for this?
It's time, baby. Kill it back to the middle of the map. Rejects gonna slide out.
Goes in, slays people out, especially with the atomic on it.
Sure, Light on the staircase. Actually, we get killed by Rejects there. You already see Kill back over towards the top house by P2.